Well, hello and welcome. I am the awful chef. I'm hungry, so I'd better eat something. And boy, has it been too long a day. Hang on a minute. So, chicken stock. Yippee. So, tonight, we are revisiting Bubble and Squeak, but with an Eastern twist. So, rice. Strained and rinsed, or rinsed and strained, and drained. And next to the camera here, I have a thrift store rice cooker. Following the instructions on the pack, in this case, 2 water to 1 rice. Yep. Shake that around a little bit. And white rice. Rice. Apparently for some people it's very hard. I don't know. Okay, now this dish can be made with meat. I prefer a pork chop. Cut it into strips, salt it, pepper it, cornstarch it. Let the strips dry a little bit, fry them up. Ingredient 1 if you're using meat. Now, tonight we are not. So, what have I got here? Usually garlic. No. These are what make this Sichuan cabbage. It is a serrano pepper that was cut up and sauteed in too much oil, very gently to bring out the spice. Yeah. I joke about garlic being an insecticide. That is a depilatory. Okay. Here we have our usual garlic. But in this case, because of what I'm doing, there's ginger in there as well. I'm not using the tube. I'm being authentic. The thing about Asian style cooking is it goes quickly, so you need everything ahead of time. So here we have some soy sauce, some mirin, and some cornstarch. This is the main ingredient of the sauce. We have a little bit of brown sugar. And then to finish it, rice vinegar and sesame oil. So, let's make some cabbage. Heat's on. I'm going to throw in a little extra oil. Oh yeah, and cabbage. Lots of cabbage. So we're going to let that get up. Oh yes. And somewhere around here, I have a brand new thing of chicken stock. Oh, I used it to make soup yesterday. So, I have a different brand new thing of chicken stock. Tired tonight. Okay. That is definitely heating up quite nicely. Yeah, the exciting part of cooking. Watching the pan get hot. And meditating upon the physiological aspects of chicken stock. Excuse me. Okay, that's nice and warm. So let's throw in the cabbage. Okay, now that you've seen me do it with my back turned, I have a pan full of cabbage and hot oil that's cooking down. I'm going to facilitate that with a little bit of chicken stock. So, bubble and squeak. Those great vegetarians, the British. Leftover mashed potatoes, leftover cooked cabbage. Well, we don't have any leftover mashed potatoes, so we're using rice as a starch. And we don't have any leftover sauteed cabbage, but I did have some leftover cabbage. So I'm sauteing it now, and it's tremendously exciting to watch. Yes, it is. But yes, the British Isles were a bastion of vegetarian cuisine. This is a prime example. That's kind of interesting for me because the way I like to cook cabbage, it's with red wine, butter, and too much black pepper. And maybe some linguiça thrown in too. That you can take to the bank. Okay, I am exceeding my YouTube interest time limit. So, I guess this is a part on sprockets where we dance. Yeah, that's an old joke. If you get that one, chicken stock. Okay. Okay, for those of you playing along at home, I've made a number of mistakes. I started with a pan that was too cold. The cabbage is blanching nicely in a little bit of steam and cooking down. So I'm going to go ahead and throw in the garlic and ginger. Because if nothing else, that needs to cook too. And one chopped up serrano pepper in oil, sauteed. Oh yeah, that's going to say hi. Oh my goodness. And once again, we have an example of very few ingredients creating a very strong smell. Oh, that's coming along nicely. Okay, the pan is heating as well, and so the cabbage is responding properly. Stir, 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 yeah. That's the thing about the Asian style of cuisine, is that temperatures tend to be higher. And so there is a need for more activity by the erstwhile cook. So, soy, mirin, and cornstarch is going in. I remember my mother used to try to cook Asian style food, and she joked that it took every dish in the house. Okay, that is caramelizing nicely. But that was not enough soy sauce. There is no color to this dish. So let me show you what I mean. Here we have a beautiful pan full of cabbage. Yes. Let's see if we can add a little color to that and make it an Asian style cabbage. One must be careful not to add salt. Soy sauce is a sauce loaded with salt. Okay, there we go. This is starting to look about right. Stir, stir, stir. Distribute the soy sauce and the mixture properly. Okay. We have a wonderfully thick sauce forming, but unfortunately it's too thick. How do I know that? Because I can scrape a bare spot on the bottom of the pan and have it stay there for a few minutes. So a little extra chicken stock. So, big question. Why don't I give quantities in my recipes? Well, first, everything is by taste. How much soy sauce is too much? That's up to you. The real question is, will other people be able to eat your cooking? But at the end of the day, quantities and seasonings are up to the chef. Furthermore, I cook agricultural products, also known as vegetables. And each vegetable is a living entity, therefore it's different. That's why you can make one dish today, it'll be fantastic, and make the same dish tomorrow and it'll be terrible. Because the vegetables, the living entity you put into it, was in a bad mood. I'm actually not kidding. There are other things that can get in the way, such as having time to properly cook your onions. Taking the time to properly prepare your garlic. I'm not a fan of a garlic press for anything other than something such as salad niçoise. And so if you abuse your garlic, things will taste differently. Ah, the rice is boiling. Thrift store rice cooker. Love it. Okay. Oh, little steam. You'd think I was steaming some vegetables. I'm actually sort of steaming them. Okay, we have a very flavorful broth at the bottom. Just enough. Now, let's caramelize it. And I mean that literally in this case. A little bit of brown sugar to sweeten and caramelize the sauce. A little too much heat there. So yes, every vegetable is a biological entity with different characteristics. So one cauliflower is not the other cauliflower. And yes, if you heard that correctly, that means that there are times you're going to do everything right and it'll be terrible. How are we doing? That is one advantage I have in that I cook for a very small audience. Okay, my sauce is too thin. And definitely needs more sugar. Yes, sugar caramelization is a way of thickening a sauce. Oh, and there is a slow burn from the serrano pepper. Stir, stir, stir. Okay, we are cooking down nicely into a wonderful, thick, caramelized sauce. As strange as this may seem, it actually needs a little more soy. Okay. So that is the exciting part of cooking cabbage. Asian style. Again, you can add pork easily, or beef if you prefer. Oh, this is going to require attention as the sauce cooks down and begins to coat the cabbage in a wonderful dark sauce that is sweet, salty, spicy, and everything good in the world. So, I'm going to end up calling it here. Keep from boring you to death with my stories about what happened today. Okay, here you can see, I hope, oh yes, you can. A little bit of that wonderful dark sauce that's a little too thin and needs to cook down a bit. I will finish it with rice vinegar and a little bit of sesame oil. Again, everything is to taste. I am the awful chef after a bit of a long day. Try this recipe. It's simple, it's wonderful, and oh, it's cheap and easy. How's that for an argument? So please subscribe, and thank you. I hope you're enjoying these videos.